The gods have teeth. There was no warning, no message, no diplomacy. A ship black as deep space slid into orbit above the Grail Dominion's outer fleet. No name, no signature. Just silence, then it spoke, not with words, but with a feeling. A low, echoing pulse spread through Cum's channels, vibrating in bone and blood, and then came the message. You touched the temple. You woke the gods. A beam of red light lanced out from the obsidian ship, slicing the lead Grail cruiser clean in half. No heat signature, no energy trace, just quiet destruction. It drifted apart like paper and water, all across the galaxy. That image went viral within hours, not a trace of who or what had done it. Just that message. Now, everyone remembered the name they tried to bury. Humans, back on Earth. Beneath the ice-cold waters of Lake Baikal, something stirred. A ring of lights blinked in perfect sync. Then the lake began to drain in new soul. Commander Una stood on a rooftop, watching a long-forgotten hangar door open beneath the Han River. Her ears buzzed with old code. Revenant Protocol. Full activation, all across the planet. The Forgotten woke. In Jeju Island, a man named Taisik looked at the sky as a dark shape moved overhead, one of the sleeper fleets, long buried under volcanic ash. In old Kyoto ruins, Jisoo, a quiet biology teacher, suddenly collapsed in the middle of class. When? She opened her eyes again. They were pitch black. Her students backed away in fear, but she only whispered one word. Online. In Nairobi, Hinwoo, a mechanic with no military history, suddenly broke open a wall in his garage. Inside was a fusion-powered infantry suit labeled only, for Hinwoo. Break glass when gods return. They had been scattered, hidden, protected. By ancestors who remembered the last war. They were not soldiers, not trained. But their instincts were different. It wasn't something they learned. It was something they remembered. The Council, Panix the Galactic Council, had ruled for thousands of years. Cold-blooded species like the Grail, the Vulkari, and the Zexer had always seen humans as unpredictable but manageable. Now, they weren't sure. What they did know was terrifying. The Grail Dominion had lost 5 fleets near Tarsus 4. Every scout team sent into Earth's outer systems had vanished. The planet Earth had gone completely dark. No transmissions. No explanations. It was a silence that screamed. The Vulkari, known for their brutal war traditions, closed their borders. We want no part of this, their prime general said. Even, we fear what sleeps on that world. The LRE tried to negotiate. They sent diplomats. They never came back. General Drexy's last words, only. One Grail survived the incident on Tarsus 4. General Drexy. A scavenger ship found him walking in circles. Inside a crater, muttering in his native tongue. His armor was shattered, his claws broken backward, his eyes wide and empty. A young Vari tech patched a translator into Drexy's neck. Drexy stopped muttering. His pupils locked onto the technician. Then he whispered in perfect Terran English, "Run. Before they know you were here. Run, little one. The gods have teeth." The technician screamed and ran off the ship. Drexy stayed quiet after that. Beneath, Mount Baekdu deep under Earth's crust, far from satellites and eyes, the final vault. Opened, a man walked out. No name, no title. His skin was pale like snow, his eyes black as space. A tattoo marked his wrist. Sovereign Unit 01. Alpha Human. Commander Una. Taisik and Jisoo stood before him, silent. Alpha looked up at the screen showing galactic movements. Ships were closing in on Earth. The Council believed they could strike first. They think we're waking up slowly. Una said. Alpha didn't answer. He just stepped toward the command console. They don't realize, Taisik whispered. We've already woken up. They remembered in the skies above Earth, 100 black ships rose from oceans, mountains, and deserts. No one had built them in living memory. But they were ready. Each was piloted by a human who had never flown before, but flew like they had done it in 100 lifetimes. The code had been passed down through blood, through old genes, hidden in dormant parts of the brain. The war code. It wasn't taught. It was felt, and it was active. The mistake of the universe never feared humanity. They respected them, tolerated them, but they forgot something. Humans didn't evolve in peace. Their history was written in blood. Every empire, every fall, every rise, wars that lasted decades. Civilizations born and destroyed. Technologies made not for peace, but for survival. Peace was never humanity's nature. It was a pause, a break in the storm. The first strike, the alien fleets moved toward Earth's outer moons. They never made it. From Pluto's shadow, something massive emerged, a ship shaped like a spear, 50 kilometers long, silent as death. Inside, Sovereign Alpha sat in a command chair that hadn't seen light in 400 years. His finger hovered above the red symbol marked only Revenant. He pressed it, and the spear flew. It didn't fire. It pierced. The lead Volcari dreadnought was torn in half, its engine core pulled out like a string. 3 Ilari cruisers vanished in a flash of silent light. No explosion, no radiation. Just absence. The spear disappeared again, slipping back into the dark. The Council finally understood. This wasn't war. This was extermination. One message all across the stars. Screens lit up. A single broadcast. One voice. Alphas. He didn't shout. He didn't threaten. He simply said, "You kicked the door. We were sleeping. Now we remember." Then the screen went dark. Legacy of the gods and soul. Children looked to the skies as a great black triangle hovered over the city. It made no sound. It didn't fire. It simply watched. In the sky of Mars Colony Beta, drones flew in perfect formation. No pilots, no heat, no signal. On Europa's icy surface, symbols began to glow, old Terran symbols etched into ice 2 centuries ago. The message was clear. Humanity had prepared. Not to conquer, not to expand. To survive. To outlast. To return. End of fear. Species that had once feared nothing now watched their borders. They studied every human colony, every outpost, every family. But it was too late. The war gods had already awakened. The universe had learned the final lesson. Don't poke sleeping gods, because when they wake, they don't roar. They whisper. And then they remember. Final words. In a quiet garden in Bizen, an old man looked at the stars with a smile. His granddaughter sat beside him. "Grandpa," she asked, "are the monsters gone?" He nodded. "They were never the monsters, child," he said. "We were." And somewhere, across the dark, the last surviving enemy of Earth looked into the void and trembled, because he remembered their smiles, the way the humans smiled when they fought. Not with rage, not with hate, but with something far worse. Joy.